Well, you want to do it together?
Sure.
We'll do it in stereo. Triple can open. First time ever.
Where's your Matt's
We'll
got to
do
count us
3.
down.
Yeah, Matt count us down, and we'll do it on
You got to go
0.
1.
On 0, not on 1, on 0. Got it?
Yeah.
But you don't say 0.
Yeah, you don't say 0.
You go
you
3,
do 3, 2,
2,
1.
I know how it works.
1.
You don't
you?
have to tell me not to say 0.
Do you?
I do.
Okay.
All right, ready? 3, 2, 1.
This is a mundane medieval fantasy world. Magic does not and has never existed. At least, not on the surface. Let's play. It's a bit of a blur how you got onto this small rocky island. Days ago, you remember receiving a letter and a pile of gold. The gold was a generous down payment. The letter was a bounty. The bounty read, "Find Virgil. Further instructions to come via this page." Virgil? Virgil who? You asked each other. To your surprise, the next time you looked at the page, the text had changed. A boat name, a dock number, and a date all appeared on the page in 100 little smoky swirls of ink. But now, it's dark, it's cold, and you're drenched. You remember being on the boat, and you remember an explosion. You're bruised, and you're cut, and you're sore, but you'll manage. The 3 of you all served in the Long War. You've been through much, much worse. The burning wreckage and a lighthouse shining above you give form to your surroundings as you adjust your eyes and come to. Chuck, tell me about your character.
Hello, all. My name is Chuck, but my character's name is 13. He is a dragonborn for his race, and my class that I chose is a fighter. So, description of my guy, or my dragonborn, is that he has red scaly skin, a few nicks and cuts along his body. You notice that over his right eye, he has a noticeable cut over the eye. And you can see in his left forearm the Roman numeral sign of 13, which is where I get my name from. You want a bit more of my background story, or you just want to know what I look like?
I think we'll get into your background.
We'll get into my background? Okay.
Sure.
That's basically it. Just like red scale. I have no armor from my understanding, so
You have no
clothes on.
You just have what you had in your pockets, which is not a lot.
Okay.
Across the table from me, Robbie Ponder. Tell me about your character.
Hello, I play Dr. Rhonda Paul Leigh. She is a doctor, and she is a dwarf, the age of 26, female. She was raised by 2 male doctors in a MASH tent for a mobile army surgical hospital. During the war, that's where she was raised, in that MASH tent. You guys are smiling at me. And then,
It's happening. It's already
Tell it in
happening.
great detail.
That's how I smiled. I was like, you want my background? We'll get into your background. Okay.
I
Well,
thought
that's what
that
I look
was
like.
an invite
There
to
we
get
go.
into your background. That was an invite to get into the background.
What's Rhonda look like? She's a dwarf, but what's
Rhonda
her-
is a dwarf. She's fairly pretty. She's tatted up on her arms. No beard for this dwarf, and she has blonde hair.
Matt Popich.
Mhm.
Tell me about your character.
My character is also a dwarf. However, he is not young and female. He's the opposite. He's old and male. He's got long, thrice braided beard and long gray hair as well, wearing just like a green and brownish jerkin and like brown pants. And during the war, he's kind of a loner. He's kind of like as neutral as you can get. He's just out for himself, basically. He served his country just because it was in his best interest that his country win the war. But for the most part, he likes to work alone. He would track like enemy movements and stay out of reach and out of sight from them and report back, basically. So he's a ranger. Mostly doesn't like working with other people.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Casey Sears, and this is Crit Sandwich. On Crit Sandwich, 4 friends play D&D campaigns loosely based on our favorite media. This is episode 1 of Campaign 8, and an excellent place to start. For this, our 8th campaign, we are bounty hunters in an oligarchy playing through the plot of BioShock. The 3 of you are on a deserted island that's almost completely occupied by a lighthouse. You look out in front of you in the ocean. You see the ship that you were sailing on, pieces of it in flames, flickering in the night. A beautiful starry sky is above you. What do you do?
I guess my first question would be, do we recognize each other, or we sailed here to this island together on this boat? So I'm guessing we spent some time with one another, or...
The 3 of you have been bounty hunters before. This is not your first bounty.
Okay. Now, part of my background, and Matt, you can correct me, is that on this. I said in part of my background that I have gone on a few bounty missions with Matt because of the... Helgen is the country of the dwarves, and that was there was an attack in the area where my character was at one point, and it was by that nation, and I felt like my character was rescued at that point because of my background, which we'll get into shortly. I've always felt like a connection with the dwarven people as far as like bounties and stuff, so I would go on bounty missions with them, and I figured I've gone on a couple of missions with Matt, but he's, like he said, he's more of a loner, so it was more
Tag along
kind of thing. Like we weren't really working together. We were just kind of in the same area.
You were my squire, basically.
No, I wasn't.
Well,
no.
You were.
I see it as maybe Musk did a lot of the recon, 13 punched a lot of people, and then Dr. Rhonda Leigh patched them up when they got back.
There you go.
Does that seem about right? Does that seem about the dynamic of your little trio?
Yep, that works.
Now, let's make one thing clear, though. We're all hired together for this same contract. We don't have, like, individual contracts. We're all on the same team.
Correct. You are all given instructions to find this Virgil character.
Oh.
Dr. Rhonda, she's going to walk around the shore. She's going to look for any other survivors from the boat. And I'm going to call out, which I'm going to do a Scottish accent this campaign, so we'll see how it goes. Is anyone left alive out here? Hello?
You hear the waves, and you hear wood knocking against wood, and you hear the crackle of fire.
Musk would use his, it would not say anything, but just get up and start trying to investigate to see if he could see the source of what caused all this, as well as any like wreckage that is salvageable.
I will assist you.
Are you saying like you want to make an investigation check a bit?
That's right.
Do it.
I rolled a 19, and Musk has the investigation skill of +0.
You have seen boats exploded. You have seen boats in war. And you notice that there are some pieces of wood even up on the island itself. So you would imagine that maybe there's some sort of explosion or a bomb or something. Maybe a rocket hit the boat. Something happened to this boat. A big boom.
What is it, Musk? What did you find?
A 19 is not a good roll, apparently.
It's not.
I thought. Well, no, it's good.
I think that's a good hint
You're fine.
for a boat that exploded.
What do you think caused this explosion? To our boat.
A great character voice, Chuck. I love it.
It appears that it was hit by a projectile that destroyed it. There must be some sort of weaponry around here.
Must be the nation of Colombia.
Musk looks at the other two and says, I think we should go about seeing if there's something in this lighthouse here. Keep your wits about you.
What nation are we next to where our boat was sailing past?
You guys were kind of in the middle of nothing. I gave the characters here, this is Casey, the Dungeon Master, if you're new to the show. I gave the characters some nations and some places and some background stuff. It's kind of irrelevant, but maybe you are between Dragonia and Helgen.
I just raised the question because 13's saying it's what nation?
I said that
Colombia.
which is from Casey's notes that he provided, was the nation of the humans.
Mhm.
And they were pretty much in my view, the baddies throughout the Long War. Because they were taking in slaves from other nations and stuff. So that's why I would assume that they caused this, caused us to be in this situation that we're in right now.
Okay.
So 13 years ago, there was an event called the Long War. The merchant class of every nation united and forced the hand of the ruling classes to sign a peace treaty. So the nations have been at relative peace, and there's been a global era of trade and prosperity since then. Well, at least for those that didn't have their cities destroyed.
So you want to go and investigate this lighthouse?
Musk is already trudging toward the lighthouse. He doesn't answer.
I follow along.
Come along, Doctor.
I'll look around for survivors again. If anyone's hurt, I want to be able to, do my doctor duty and heal them. I'm going to look around again.
Give me an investigation check.
18.
It's so dark and the ocean is so black. You really have no clue.
I call back to the doctor.
Come along. We'll probably be able to see much more from the top of the lighthouse.
And I'll say, you don't know the wildlife around here. You better keep up.
Dr. Rhonda Paul, she's not that brave or courageous. She doesn't like to be alone, so she will jog back up to her other two party members.
On the front of the lighthouse, there is a large double wooden door that's swollen and cracked from the seawater.
Kick that shit in.
You kick that shit in,
You could try knocking first.
and the door rattles and shakes on its hinges, and you hear the wood creak and split. And you look inside this lighthouse. It's like an alien world to you. There's this big round pool of water in the middle, but everything else looks like it was grown and sculpted out of coral. Bright pinks and bright blues and bright yellows and just an absolute rainbow of shapes, weird outgrowths and waves and
Shapes and configurations and stuff that we're not used to.
Yes, absolutely. This looks very organically grown, and you guys all come from a world of bricks and mortar and wood. And in this center pool of water, there is a clear crystal sphere that is big enough for several people to walk inside. And wrapped around that clear crystal sphere is like a mechanical fish. So it's like a big, fat, round, goofy-looking fish with big brass fins and a brass tail and a big brass mouth. And arching in coral over this fish are the words science, industry, freedom, magic. And they're all very faintly glowing and pulsing over the fish in the water. After you step into the room, the mouth of the fish in the water slowly starts to open.
The fuck is this?
So this coral, is it like artwork or is it just like the walls?
It's the walls. Like this place, it looks like it was grown instead of built.
It's like colorful too, like the coral reef colors.
Oh, yeah. Yes, it's very colorful, very decorative. It looks like you're walking into like a living Chihuly exhibit.
It's very beautiful.
I do not want to stand. So the mouth of the fish is facing in our direction.
Yeah, and there's like a tiny little platform leading from the edge of the pool straight into the fish's mouth. And looking inside the mouth, you see a wood and brass bench wrapping around both sides with a pedestal in the middle of the fish.
Okay. And there's like no staircase that leads to the top of the lighthouse or anything, or
There's not.
there's not. When we see the word magic, since magic doesn't exist in this world, is there like magicians that do like trick, like for little kid parties or something like that? Like, are we familiar with the word magic? Or,
Yes. Yeah, the
Okay.
word magic to you, thinks sleight of hand. I mean, there are definitely people who there are definitely people that have been killed for being witches and things like that, but it's not real to you. It's, you know what I mean? Like, you've never actually seen anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
there definitely is. You're familiar with the concept of magic and witchcraft and stuff, but more in a fantasy sense.
Yeah.
More in a
Okay.
storytelling sense.
Other than probably the first magic we've actually seen was that paper, right? Because that kind of. And speaking of which, who has that, or does anyone?
Yeah, that was my next
Yeah,
question.
someone has that piece of paper. You guys got to tell me who has that paper. But that is the first thing you've ever encountered that is anything like magic.
You want to roll for it?
I want that paper.
I rolled a straight up 5.
Ooh, I got 11.
7.
11. Yeah,
Oh, man.
Rhonda.
That's probably okay. All right.
What do you mean?
All right.
It was the
Rhonda
worst.
is
it was the
the
worst
worst.
option.
Rhonda is the doctor of the group. you
Ronda
guys.
Rousey over here. All right.
You know, what's your intelligence score? All right.
Well, you changed your character right before we started, so yours
Well,
is probably
I am
higher.
average intelligence by the way. I'm only have a 10, so 0.
All right. So
modifier.
Rhonda has the paper.
All right.
'Cause
Put it in
she-
your inventory. Don't forget about it.
Paper. I'll put it paper.
All right.
Bounty's probably more accurate, but
Musk would like to kind of investigate the room to see if there's anything of value. I'm feeling pretty defenseless right now. If like we're attacked by something, and Musk is kind of always on edge and always wants to be prepared. So he's going to look for something he could use as a weapon in this room.
There's usually a lighthouse attendant. I don't see anything around here.
15.
and you're looking for something to protect yourself?
Anything of use, really, but yeah, namely something like we don't have weapons or anything. Which on a bounty hunting mission, obviously we're pretty underprepared here.
You're walking around, you're looking, you're thinking, and you grab a piece of coral on the wall and you break it off. You realize, like, oh, this is kind of dry. I could probably use this. It's sharp. So give yourself a coral dagger in your inventory.
What about the door that I kicked in? Are there any splinters of wood, like large splinters of wood that I could makeshift into a weapon? Or if I can't, I'm just gonna go out the same playbook as him and just go break me off a piece of coral.
Yeah, the wood is it's pretty big. You
Pretty big?
probably would need an
Okay.
axe or something to really get at it.
And I don't have that, so I'm gonna if there's a piece of coral nearby that I can break off as well.
So 13, you see Musk break off this piece from the wall, and you go up and do the same. And you now have a dagger in your inventory made of coral.
Watch out, world. 1d4 plus 2.
That's right.
So it's
Wait.
obvious we need to go and sit on this bench.
Is it?
But
Is
I mean,
it
is it
obvious?
it's like how's my character going to be pushed to go do that? That's
Well, why don't you just wait for us? I'm about to go. I'm
it's-
about to go there in a second.
what's your character's like motivation to go sit inside a fish's mouth though?
Well, I mean, there's really nothing else on this island. Like, right? We don't. This lighthouse takes up the whole island. So I'm gonna step forward slowly to see if when I Does anything happen once I step forward into the
Into the fish?
well, just at the edge of the mouth? I don't want to step in right away. Can I see a little bit more into that room that's within the fish?
Sure, yeah. So there's a round bench, as I said before, and a solid wood floor on the inside. In the center of the fish, there's a pedestal and a large handbrake-like lever. The pedestal has a round dial with names of different things, but you can't read them from where you're standing. There's also a conch-like seashell, like a small conch, resting in a cup hook on the side of the pedestal.
It's a phone.
I step into the fish.
Okay, so you step into the fish and you get a clear look at the pedestal and everything. And now you see what it says. It says twist the dial to select a location, pull the lever to initiate travel. And the dial points at a bunch of places that you have never heard of or seen before.
But it does have some familiar places.
No, nothing.
Okay.
So the only one that's lit, there's a tiny little indicator next to each one. And the only one that's lit is called North Gateway District. But it also points to a mining district, Arcas Woods, Arcas Plaza, the South Gateway District, Geothermal Operations, Arcas Park, and the Arcane Laboratories.
So the only one that's lit up is North Gateway District.
Correct.
We might be able to use this for travel. It's lit up. It says we can travel to these places. North Gateway District. Have either of you heard of that before?
What are you talking about?
So, everyone go ahead and roll history.
Got some real stinkers here, guys.
13 for Elon.
6.
Musk, you've been around.
Yep.
You have heard of people, especially socialites, scientists, powerful members of industry. You've kind of heard rumors. You know what, Musk? Am I right to think you're a conspiracy theory guy?
Definitely.
Okay, so you have heard conspiracy theories of the city of Arcas, an underwater city that's been attracting a lot of the global elite, as you would call them, a lot of the deep state, a lot of the global elite,
Liberals.
a lot of, well, not even that, a lot of the powerful people. We're talking like beyond liberal and conservative. We're talking about the people that run the world.
Okay.
You have heard that they've been traveling to a city underwater called Arcas.
So I relay that because didn't we hear the word Argus or wasn't it on there or something? Where did we see that?
I don't think I said that, but I believe that is one of the
Wasn't it on the dial?
On the dial, yes. There are multiple places. Arcas Woods, Arcas Plaza.
I would wait then. I'm like,
Come in. It's safe in here.
So I would recognize that word and relay what I know about Arcas, that it is, in my mind, a myth, but one that I kind of believe a little bit.
Are we we're going after Virgil?
Mm-hmm.
Are we somewhat in the right location to start looking for him?
So you took the boat that he told you to get on.
Maybe if you look at your paper, which you chose not to do.
Yeah, so no, that's if we took the boat that he told us to do, and we haven't gotten to our destination, our boat got attacked. So we're not at our destination, I would feel.
Or are we? I bet your paper would tell you.
look at your paper.
I have the paper pulled up, you guys, okay? Dr. Pauly, she'll pull out the paper again and look at it to try to figure out where we kind of need to go. And it may be, if something disappeared, maybe something will reappear.
You look at the paper, and it's back to the very first thing it ever said, which is just find Virgil.
Just kind of realizing you're a doctor, but you have zero intelligence. Is that accurate?
It's wisdom. You need wisdom to be a doctor.
We're not going to find Virgil here. I say we use this for travel. Get off this island. What say you, Musk?
Musk is kind of trepidatiously excited, is this actually Arcas?
Yeah, Arcas.
Yeah, he, again, kind of a conspiracy theory, loner, I don't know, he'd be ready for the zombie apocalypse. He's one of those guys, I guess is kind of what I'm getting at. But like this kind of thing definitely is he's on board with that. So he's getting pretty pumped up here. So yeah, he says, I kind of believe it. This is so exciting. And it's probably one of the rare times you guys have ever seen him smile. And what does the pedestal look like? Because he's going to, like, however it's obviously supposed to be done to make this thing move, he does something not that because he's not real good at that part of it.
Oh, yeah. Is there like so the dial that's on there, you said there was a dial, like, it's pointed to the North Gate District. Is there like a button that's lit up that you think like we press that and we go or something? Or
So I will read the exact instructions again. It says, twist the dial to select a location, pull the lever to initiate travel.
Is the doctor in yet? Because Musk is in.
is the doctor in?
I don't think she would have stepped inside the fish. She would probably be outside. Are you sure it's safe to enter?
We're
Musk's-
standing in it. Like,
oh, we're already in it.
yeah.
Yeah, she wants to double check and make sure she's going to
Yes.
ask you to.
Musk grabs the lever and grins over at the doctor and says, "Last chance to."
Oh, man. If you're going to need a doctor, it's might as well be me. And Dr. Paulie gets on in the fish's mouth.
I let her rip.
Well, I was gonna say the seats in there. Do we need to like strap in or anything? Or
There are no straps.
oh, okay.
Right when she's across the threshold, I yank the lever.
The fish's mouth closes very slowly. And remember, it's like a glass sphere with a mechanical fish wrapped around it. Does that make sense? With a little floor, some seats. So you can see a lot around you. It just starts dropping below the surface of the water. And you drop through a tunnel of rock. And then eventually, darkness. Pitch black darkness. The glass walls of the mechanical fish start to swirl as if they're filled with dark gray smoke, which is actually brighter than the pure black that's outside of the fish. And you start to begin to see images within the smoke, images of workers toiling in the field, workers loading in a shipyard. You see alchemists in a lab pouring chemicals from beakers and jars into each other. It looks like a living, swirling painting to you. It's really, really beautiful. And you begin to hear a voice. I am Abigail Russell, and I would like to ask you a question. Is a person not entitled to the sweat of their brow? No, says the man in Colombia. It belongs to the military. No, says the supreme bishop. It belongs to Helga, his god. No, say the citizens of Dragonia. It belongs to the fiercest pirate. No, say the elves in Volksha. It belongs to everyone else. I, Abigail Russell, rejected those answers. Instead, I built something different. I built the impossible. I built Arcas. And after she says that, you guys feel your stomachs just drop like an elevator just falling as the fish is moving rapidly through the ocean. And the magic smoke zips away. And you see a city stretched wide before you. You see towers and domes built from coral and stone, and they're reaching up from the ocean floor. It's colorful and bright, just like the room you're in, with greens and blues and pinks. and the light shining is just like a crystal rainbow dropped and scattered on the ocean floor. And you see fish and whales, and no one knows what it's like under the ocean in this era. You're just absolutely blown away at the creatures and the fish and everything that's swimming around your own bathysphere and in and around the city of Arcas. What you guys might call a ghost, but we would know now as like some sort of hologram or illusion, is now standing where the pedestal was in the room. It is a older, sharp-looking dwarf woman with tight, dark curls and cat-eye glasses. And she continues to speak. A city where creators would not fear the censor, where science and magic would not be bound by petty morality, where the great would not be held back by the small. And with the sweat of your brow, Arcas can become your city as well. And your fish zooms and weaves about through this beautiful coral city until it finds the northernmost structure, a long oval dome perched on the side of a mountain. And it enters a coral port near the top. Any reactions or questions or anything?
I would just be. You kind of answered it. But one of my questions, like during the Long War, was there like a concept of like a submarine or anything like that? So we've never been in a structure, a vehicle or whatever you want to call it like this before. So
I would say maybe at the very, very, very end of the war, there were rumors about Columbia having submarines and stuff, but you had never seen one.
Okay.
I think Musk would be trying to like talk to the dwarf, and I assume it's only a hologram. Like
Yes,
she wouldn't answer.
Yep, she's just standing there staring directly forward at the city itself, and you even like tap her shoulder or something, and your finger goes right through.
That was my next thought, and then he would just like gasp.
The doctor would probably be not sitting on this bench that's in here. I would probably be behind it, kind of hiding. But every time something beautiful would come by, like the big city and everything, I would be standing up looking at everything in awe. But kind of scared too, because like this is a lot to take in right now for her.
Yeah, it's a big, beautiful, long city. There's like multiple districts that seem to be attached by pipes and tubes of coral. It's unlike anything you've ever seen. Have you ever flown into Vegas at night?
No.
It's flying into Vegas at night. It's like this. Someone poured gold in the middle of darkness. It's just bright. It's bright lights and just golden lights, just like a little ribbon of it.
I can
just
imagine.
in the middle of nothing. And that's kind of what it's like. It's so dark. It's in the middle of night. You're at the bottom of the ocean. But all of a sudden you see this rainbow of light at the bottom. It's absolutely stunning. It's incredible.
Looks like those theories are real, Musk.
I just can't believe it. And he's still just taken aback just at the hologram. Like, how is this possible?
Can you believe a whole city down here untouched by the war?
She's done it. Can't believe it. Can I roll to see if I've even heard Abigail's name?
Sure. It'd be another history check.
15.
The Russell Corporation, you don't know Abigail Russell, but you definitely know the Russell Corporation as being one of the largest builders of ships for Columbia. And you find that surprising because it's a dwarf woman.
Yeah, because the dwarves are from
Helga. Yeah.
Helgen.
The dwarves are from Helgen. Their enemies were the Columbians, which were the humans mostly. And so the Russell Family Corporation, or the Russell Corporation, were big-time boat and weapons makers during the war. The bathysphere, which is just a name for like a pod that drops underwater. Near the top of the northernmost building, at the very end of the city, it goes into a portal in the side of it, And then eventually it starts floating upwards. The fish crests through another small pool of water, and you're in a domed room that kind of looks like a train station. Trains would be a very, 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 very new technology to any of you guys. They kind of started popping up around the war or after the war. And there are several other pools of water, but there are no fish in them in this room. So you're in one pool. There's a bunch of other pools, and it's a big round oval room with all of the pools of water along one side of the oval, and then on the other side there is a destroyed-looking ticket booth and a pile of rubble blocking a door from your side. Go ahead and give me a perception check, everybody.
19.
2. I'm rolling very crappy right now.
13 for the doctor.
So, Musk, you hear whispers coming from that shell that's hung on the side of the pedestal.
How big is this shell?
It's maybe about 6 to 8 inches long.
Gosh, I don't know what Musk would think about that. I'm mad. I'm thinking it's some sort of an intercom system, but since Musk wouldn't really know what that is, I feel like he would pull his coral dagger out and then nonchalantly, as if he's kind of like investigating, creep over there and see if he can make out a little bit better what he can hear.
The second I see Musk pull out his dagger, I'll pull out mine as well.
As this is happening, the fish has fully crested the water, and the mouth of the fish is starting to open. But Elon, you start to hear, or Elonga.
Yes,
Musk. Musk.
Musk Elonga.
Musk, you hear some whispering, not whispering, but you hear someone speaking, and you hear them say,
It's blocked from the other side. I can't get through.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Wait, who is this? Are you in the fish?
Are we in the fish? Yes. We haven't got out yet, have we? Or
Correct.
did we? Okay. We are. Who is this?
Grab the shell, put it to your ear.
I do that.
And now it's much more clear. It
Okay.
is clear as day. My name is Virgil. Are you the bounty hunters?
We can all hear this guy at this
Yeah,
point.
now that he has it picked up, you guys can, if you're close enough to him that you can hear it well enough.
Before I hold my hand up to the group without saying anything, and I signaled Dr. Rhonda to look at the note before we respond back to this guy.
Dr. Rhonda, she nods at you and she's like, I know the note by heart now. I know the note by heart now. I don't have to peel it out.
I'm under the impression that this piece of paper that you are in possession of changes. Like, you know that, right?
Okay, so yeah.
So when I signal to you to look at it, you look at it and you see what it says. Because it's not going to say the same thing.
All right,
every
well,
time.
show me the signal of pulling out a paper and
I
looking
point
at
my
it.
finger at you, my scaly finger, and I point to where you last put the note in
I
your
put the
your
last
pouch.
note in my front chest pocket, and you're pointing at my boobs, and I'm really uncomfortable. No, okay, sorry. Yeah, I pull the note out, and I'm like, whatever. I don't think Dr. Rhonda doesn't think anything's going to change, so she just pulls out the note. Their instructions were just to find Virgil. He doesn't mean that he is our bounty. We might get further instructions from him.
It still says, find Virgil.
All right.
Period.
I fold the note back up and I put it in my pocket, and then I roll my head, and I'm just like, 13. You're getting a little crazy down here.
Hello. Are you still there? Are you still there? This is Virgil. Are you still there?
Where are you?
I'm in the mining district with my family. Thank God you're here. I need help. I need help getting my family and myself out. My friend Patty Shoemaker, he's on the line too. And you hear that first voice that you heard.
I'm trying to get you out, but it's blocked from the other side. You guys got to clear.
I look back at the dial because it said mining district on it. So I would assume that's another location. He's in a different location from where we're at
Correct.
currently, right?
Yeah, he's in a different district. If you were to flip, do you flip the dial to the mining district or anything?
No, because I would assume if this guy's saying he's stuck from the other side, you said there was like some rubble across the room
Mhm.
where there was an old ticket booth or something like that.
Yeah, Virgil speaks again. My friend Patty Shoemaker. He's there. He's there to help you. He's there to help you find me.
Now, why do you want to leave, and why do you need assistance from us to leave this beautiful place here?
It's not a beautiful place anymore. Abigail Russell's gone mad. Her followers have gone mad, turned this place into hell.
And what do you propose we do to help you?
I need you to get to me in the mining district. I've got a small group of friends here, but we need support.
And that was Virgil talking.
Yes, that was Virgil talking
Okay.
again.
What is Patty Shoemaker going to help us with? Just the fish?
He's gonna bring you to me. Come on, hurry up, hurry up. And this is Patty Shoemaker speaking again. Please, I don't know how long.
And where are you? How are we supposed to get to you?
You hear a slight bang on the other side of that rubble. I'm right here, you morons. You gotta come and get me.
That's a correct assessment. All right.
What, did you know he was outside the fish?
No. Oh, I assumed that he was on the other side behind, like, there's something blocked by rubble, but I didn't know if that was exactly it. So
Well,
You hear-
they're on the phone together. Rhonda's thinking they're in the same spot.
You hear Virgil speak again. I saw that there was a bathysphere coming down, one of those mechanical fish you were in. And then I sent Patty to come find you, to bring you to me, and get you out of the North Gateway District. But the fish you're in is only one way.
I'll step out of the fish and move towards the ticket booth area.
We'll let Patty or whatever. So there's rubble blocking the door to Patty.
Yes, so there is one door leading out. Again, like this room you're in is just this big, beautiful, imagine like coral mixed with stained glass in between the branches of the coral. So it's just like a beautifully lit room. And there is, mostly it looks like half of the ticket booth just piled up in front of that door blocking it.
I'll start removing some of the stones and rubble from the ticket booth area.
Okay.
And
Musk will help.
Yeah, I'll say,
Come on, help.
I'm not gonna help you.
Come on, help.
I'm a lady. I ain't helping. You guys knew that whoever put this here, whatever's on the other side, they put it here to stop whatever's on the other side from coming this way.
That doesn't make any sense. What are you talking about?
It was blocked off for a reason, to stop whatever's on the other side from
If
coming
you'd
this
like
way.
to be lazy and not help us, then you don't have to make up random stuff. What are you talking about?
I just crossed my arms and I realize he's not smart enough to talk to me.
So as you guys are starting to remove some of the posts and the rubble and furniture from the wall and from the doorway, there's a porthole, a very large, clear glass porthole, and you finally get a look at Patty Shoemaker.
Patty Shoemaker.
Patty Smith is an excellent rock and roll artist who I saw last summer, and she rocked my socks off.
Nice.
Gonna see her again at the National Homecoming here in Cincinnati. Very excited.
Get it.
Patty is a human male. He's 30-ish, blonde, athletic. His clothes are tattered. He kind of looks like he's been through hell, hasn't shaved in maybe a couple weeks. And he's standing there by the doorway, putting his hands over his eyes, leaning against the porthole, looking in at you guys.
What race is he?
Human.
Human.
And he's like kind of giving you a thumbs up, like, you're doing it, good job, you're doing it. As you guys look over at him, his eyes go big and wide. And he starts to slowly step back from the door. And then you see in the front of him a blade go through the front of his chest from behind. His body gets pushed forward and slumps against the door. And you see a woman whose skin is pale and white. Her hair is long and crazy, and she is wearing like a white jumpsuit that's caked in blood and dirt.
Human?
Human.
Is
Yeah,
it
human woman.
Okay.
And she pulls out this short sword from the back of Patty, and he gurgles and spits blood out of his mouth and stumbles forward further until he hits the ground. And she starts to cackle. Looks like we've got fresh meat here in Arcas. Now what brought you canaries down into my coal mine? And she licks the blood off of her blade. And she starts to scratch it against the glass of the door as she's peering in, looking at you guys.
I hiss. The Dragonborns do that, I guess.
I start recovering the rubble that we just undid. I'd start adding it back to where we undid it.
You hear Virgil's voice. Patty? Patty, what happened, Patty? I heard some noises. What's going on? Bounty hunters. Tell me your names. What's going on?
I'll go to the shell and I'll talk to him. Virgil, Patty, he's been stabbed in the back. He's been stabbed in. It's not healable. I can't heal him.
It's not healable.
I can't do it.
I can't do it, Captain.
He gasps. That was... Be careful. You're gonna need weapons as quick as you can. It's one of Abigail's arcanists.
I
They're
don't
mad.
even know what that means. What's an arcanist?
That means she was once a person, but now she knows deep and troubling magic. They've all gone mad. Abigail's driven them all mad. All of her followers.
You don't have to do Patty's voice anymore.
Yeah, that's true. That's my Ringo.
That's Ringo. Yeah.
Patty has a twin.
Well,
So she's just hanging out by the door, correct? This
Is she trying to get to
woman,
us
is she
at all?
trying to get through
Or
there?
is she
She's
just-
hanging out.
she's
there
just being
with the
creepy?
glass?
She's
Creepy.
being creepy and looking at you, and as you guys like kind of stop and pause and even maybe start to put stuff up back against the door, she laughs again. You see her go straight up, just like she climbs straight up the wall. And you hear like ting 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 like on the other side of the wall. And then nothing.
creepy.
That's a bit freaky. I want to get out of here. Virgil, where are we? Where should we go, Virgil? Hello?
I think the best bet is to head towards the university. There, you can find some arcane infusions. You're going to need those in order to fight back Abigail's army,
But if you're in the mining district, why don't we just go to the mining district?
because you got to make it there first, chap.
We'll do what we can, Virgil. And I get in the fish.
I head back to the fish as well, but I don't think we can travel anywhere because it's not. Is the mining district or?
Oh yeah, no,
is it-
I'm going back to the fucking surface. Fuck all this. No, we're done.
You're going back to the surface.
Yeah.
We're just gonna be stuck on that island.
Better than down here.
So
Are you like you're not a brave bounty hunter or anything?
No,
Like,
fuck
you
all
know,
this.
You're,
No, I'm out for myself.
So Matt, as you think, I want to go back to the surface, and you're going into the fish, and you're like about to flip that lever to go back.
Yep.
I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
oh fuck.
18.
You take 1 psychic damage.
I'll do it.
There's a voice in your head saying it's wrong to leave.
Casey. It's wrong to leave. Psychic damage.
Here's what you get for fucking up my campaign. I thought the lever wasn't gonna work, so I didn't think I would take damage. But I guess I learned my lesson.
No, there's a reason for everything here. There's a reason why this is happening.
I'm okay with going back to the fish, the ship, and just seeing if the dial says if the mining district is lit up, because I would assume that stuff needs to be lit up in order for us to travel to that place.
Sure. So you go back and you turn the dial to the mining district, and it does not light up.
Okay.
And the
Is
only
anything?
the only thing that's still lit is actually the lighthouse access.
Lighthouse access. Okay.
Looks like we have no other choice but to travel past that doorway.
I thought it was barricaded. I thought we couldn't go out that way.
Well, we move some shit. We go through there.
I don't want to go out there.
Is there a
That fucking
shell?
crazy lady's out there.
3 of us and 1 of her.
Is there 2 like the conch shells, Casey, the phones? Is there one in the fish and then one out where they it's
Just the
ticket
one
booth?
conch shell.
So next to the ticket booth area.
Well, whoever has the conch shell right now, which I think is you.
Oh, so it's like a portable cell phone.
yes. You took it off that cup hook. There's not like a cord or anything.
Okay.
You just took it off the cup hook and then you're walking around with it.
And so we're saying in the fish, nothing is lit up, not even the university for us to travel to.
Correct. So there is well, actually, no, there's not a sign inside here, or not on a map in here. So the university is, there's no selection for the university and the dial selector.
Ask him. You're the one with it.
Virgil, how do we get to the university section? Our fish, it doesn't have a selector for the university.
The university's in the North Gateway District. It's where you're at now. It's down the hill, past the Pleasant Ridge.
You mean we have to go out there where that crazy lady is?
I suggest you grab something real sharp, or a club or something.
You know, I've seen people killed before, but I've never seen anyone kill someone and smile and lick their dagger like that before. It was really weird.
I'm going to remove rubble and open that door if I can.
Well, great idea. I'm going to try and find a better weapon first. Can we investigate the room?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna help. Well,
I got a coral dagger.
I'm gonna
Ready to
look
rock and
myself.
roll.
Rhonda's really looking for medical supplies more than weapons.
While you guys are looking around, I'm going to continue to remove that rubble. So
I got a 3.
Robbie, did you investigate as well?
Dagger it is.
14. And again, I'm looking for medical stuff more than I am daggers.
Dr. Rhonda Paul Leigh, you find a register that is underneath what's left of the ticket booth. And inside that register is about 20 gold. Tiny little gold tokens. You guys find basically what would be a club. Whatever, you know what I mean? Like a piece of wood or whatever, if you want to use it as a club instead of that dagger. You guys find enough for that.
Robbie finds it since he was the one looking. Or Rhonda.
Rhonda and Musk, if you two want clubs, you can have clubs instead of coral daggers.
I don't have a weapon of choice, but I will offer the club to 13, and if whatever he would prefer, he can take.
Still 1d4, so we didn't upgrade.
Yeah, it depends if you want strength or dex, right?
Think so, yeah.
I'll take the club, Robbie. I'm more of a strength person. Dragon.
Appreciate that. Would you like my dagger?
Yeah, Dr. Pauly takes the dagger from you.
13, you've cleared out the doorway at this point. You are able to spin a large wheel to kind of manipulate the airlock function of this door and get to the outside or the inside.
Inside. I step in and check on Patty Shoemaker.
Patty Shoemaker is quite dead.
What's he got on him? I'm going to search his person. He doesn't need this stuff anymore. I'm going to take whatever he's got on him for myself.
Sure.
I'll inspect this body. 15.
He has 25 gold. He has one, it says AAA lottery token. So you don't know what a AAA lottery token is, but it's this small coin. You don't know what that does yet. And he has a hand crossbow and a short sword. And he's also wearing leather armor underneath his tunic.
I'm going to take that leather armor. I'm going to take the sword. And
Watch out above you.
I know Musk is a ranged person from working with him in the past. I say,
Mm-hmm.
How about that crossbow there, friend?
nod my scaly face towards it.
Oh, yeah. Musk is all about that. In fact, he like scurries over quickly and starts checking out the mechanics of it just to make sure it's all kosher, that he knows what's going on with it. So
Fairly standard hand crossbow, 5 bolts.
What does it look like as we move into this next doorway out of the ticket booth area?
So also, Patty has an extra shell on him too that he was using to communicate with all of you.
We'll take that.
Robbie, to answer your question, arched over. So all right, imagine you're at the top of a hill that's all completely domed going down it. You see a sign. Well, the first sign you see is "Welcome to Arcas." Just very, very large and just beautiful, made of brass and wood.
I don't feel very welcomed here.
There are gardens, and it's kind of stair steps down with gardens, and then it leads into small estates, small houses. There are just a couple of floating globes of light lining a street that bends down to your left and cuts through the buildings. Further below the houses, there are even more buildings and more buildings all the way down to the bottom of the hill. I mean, they look like alien buildings. You know, they're bubbles and spheres and domes and towers and branching off in weird shapes. Everything is just very, very asymmetrical and strange. You also see surrounding you at this platform corpses. Bodies, dried blood everywhere. Most of the bodies up here look like they've been completely drained of blood. You see some of them were holding protest signs. They say things like, "Let us out. We're not prisoners here." You see signs supporting a person named Felix Frost. You see signs damning Russell or Abigail. Just an absolute horrid stench from all of these bodies dead in the garden, as if they were trying to get out and get through the door that you just passed through. You also see a sign that is a map of Arcas. And you see the district that you're in, the North Gateway District. It's pretty linear. You at the very top, you have the lighthouse access. You have this residential area called Pleasant Ridge. Below that, you have the University of Arcas. Below that, you have the Arcas Hospital. And below that, at the very bottom of the hill, you have Bathysphere Station Inn.
Do you have that map actually drawn?
No, I don't.
So Bathysphere Inn, and that's where we have not come from that area.
That's
correct?
at the
Or
very
is it-
bottom.
It's at the
It's at
very,
very
bottom.
Okay.
None of that's the university, though.
The university was the second one. So your
Oh,
lighthouse access, Pleasant Ridge is this little residential area. University of Arcas is the next one down after Pleasant Ridge.
Okay.
Then the hospital, then the Bathysphere Station.
So we need to go down one more level to the university level to get Virgil and rescue all his people.
I cannot believe all these people are dead. Have you seen all the corpses? This is insane.
I haven't seen so much death since the war.
It's bad. It's an absolute mess up here. And there are plants everywhere, but they're starting to look like they're in bad shape. There's a lot of overgrowth. There are some gardens. There are some way off to your right. There are some actual like farm fields that look completely unkept, kind of on the hill going down on the right side there.
Does the doctor recognize any of the plants? I'm trying to see. Everyone's trying to stock up on things. I'm going to try to stock up on like maybe some type of healing plant. Can I investigate the plants to see if I can?
Give me a nature check.
8.
You don't see anything that looks like it's not on the surface already. A lot of the plants down here look kind of tropical, and it does feel fairly warm and slightly humid in here.
So they are recognizable. And they're not alien like
Correct.
plants. Mm-hmm. So I investigate them, and I don't really see much. There's not like the like weeds overgrown in here too?
I mean, it was beautiful gardens, and now they're just unkept, and they're starting to overgrow. But they are overgrowing to a point where they're no longer healthy.
Is there a flower?
Yeah.
I'll take a flower and put it in my hair.
Okay. Take a point of inspiration.
Thanks.
You somberly bend over, pluck a flower from a branch. Like the whole plant is dead, but there's still one living bud on it. And you break it off and put it in your hair.
I suggest that we head down to the university.
So on the map, is there a map to tell us which way to go to the next fish that goes down?
That is the
It's at the bottom.
Sphere Station Inn. That is all the way at the very bottom. There seems to be one very long road all the way to the left going down, and then it kind of shoots off to the right so that you go to the university, and then it shoots off to the right to go to the hospital. Actually, it shoots off to the right first to go to a bunch of houses. So as we're playing this game and this campaign, you will have opportunities whenever you travel anywhere or whenever you're in a place to just do some searching and do some exploration. There's going to be a lot of investigation checks, and there's going to be a lot of just kind of simple collection and scavenging happening, especially here at the beginning. As we go on, you're probably not going to need to do as much scavenging. So, do you guys want to hang out in Pleasant Ridge and scavenge around this area? Do you want to head straight to the university?
I'd say we would scavenge around here just to see.
We don't really have anything on us, so we're gonna need. I mean, we got to look for stuff. So, I would say like,
Why don't we look around for a bit before heading down to the university?
Do you want to take the main road or walk through the gardens to get to the houses?
Gardens,
yeah.
safer.
I just want to make sure our audience knows that during that shipwreck, I don't know if Casey said it, but we lost all our inventory. So that's why we're needing to scavenge.
Correct. Yes, you have no items on you.
We knew that in some show notes he gave us, but I don't think we told the audience. So we have what items we have, you're listening to right now, and that's the items we're getting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure this area is quite pleasant. Let's look around.
You do that.
Where do you think that crazy lady went to?
Give me a group stealth check.
no.
16 for Musk.
Rhonda got a 19.
4.
The three of you make it through the gardens sight unseen. There are some trees, some good cover, and also it's fairly dark in this area. There are globes of light that follow the street down into the further parts of the Gateway District. But you guys have walked around them for the darkness. And as you are traveling through, realize it's not just gardens. This is a graveyard. There are handmade tombstones and small crosses and little markers and fresh soil.
This is not what I expected to see this place like. I thought it was untouched by the war, but it looks like it had a war on itself down here.
As you guys are traveling through the gardens, you do find a shovel. If anyone would like to use that as basically a weapon, a staff, a two-handed weapon, or if you need to pick it up for any other reason.
Are we gonna need to be worried about like weight or anything like that?
We'll just use the general weight rules,
Okay.
which means you can carry a lot of crap.
Yeah.
Chuck, what is 13's strength? Is trying to...
+3, 17.
Okay. I'm assuming I can turn this shovel into a shield, too. If we really wanted to.
Can you?
I don't know how that works, but
You and I we have different shovels. Or we have different shields. I don't know.
Different? You mean I thought there was only one shovel.
Oh boy.
there's one. He's making a joke that you have different shovels, as in they don't look like shields. Where
I don't
from.
think that you can use a shield as a shovel. Is what I'm shovel as a
Shield's
shield.
like this small, like that round. Yeah.
It's big enough. Whatever. All right. You can have the shovel check as a two-handed weapon. My strength is 14. Yours is 17.
I'm
so feel
cool,
free.
actually. I was thinking we use this shovel to dig up some graves for some supplies or something like that. But
I ain't doing that. That's too weird.
I mean, I'm in it for survival, man. I don't
Think
know
of
where
how
I'm at.
how much
This
time
place-
that would take to dig up
Yeah.
a freaking grave.
But
Okay.
I don't need the shovel. I'm just going to keep pressing on.
You press on and you pass through some estates, and these houses are just really were beautiful. All of the windows are busted through. Some of them even have small fires and smoke coming out of them. This looks like a war zone. Walls knocked down, rubble everywhere. Do you guys want to continue through the houses into the university area, or do you want to search some houses before you get any further?
Yeah, search houses.
I want to search houses.
All right, give me. Actually, here's what I want. I want one group investigation check, unless you guys split up, and we'll take whoever has the highest modifier. We're going to be doing a lot of this kind of scavenging stuff, so I want to kind of not overdo it.
The doctor ain't going off by herself. She's definitely sticking with somebody. If she has to stick with anyone, it's going to be 13. No offense, Musk, but you're the lone wolf here.
Yeah, Musk likes to be by himself anyways. Yeah, Musk will split off and find some houses by himself.
I'll go into my own house with my tag along behind me. So we're going
Okay.
to split up 2
Chuck.
and 1.
Yep.
Chuck, what do you got on your roll?
This is an investigation.
Yep.
7.
7.
Musk got a 14.
Okay. So, Musk, you may pick a martial weapon of your choice. That's what you find in one of the houses.
Okay.
And Chuck, you get 1d6 gold.
What's up with all this gold?
I don't know. What
It's
shop
weird,
do you
you know?
think we're going to go to? I don't know.
I have no idea.
Next corpse we see, I
find 1 gold.
I'd like to look at it.
Nice.
Yeah, so you're going through a house. It looks like it's been picked clean. All the food's gone. Everything's been drank from it. It just smells like rot. You do find 1 little gold piece on the ground. Matt, what weapon did you find?
I found a beat up longsword.
And this longsword is stuck through the chest of one of those corpses that looks like it's been completely drained of blood. Like the body is there on the floor. It looks like it's been completely drained. And you see the sword coming through it, just standing up straight. And it's a little bit rusty and dingy where it's been in contact with that blood for who knows how long.
So, Casey, I don't think you heard me, but I asked if I can investigate one of the corpses if I happen to walk by one.
Sure. Do a medicine check on. Are you talking about one of the ones that looks really withered or a normal looking corpse?
Actually, both of them, because I want to get an idea of how long they've been here for, too. That's
Okay.
20.
The bodies that don't look drained or dried are probably dead for about a month, 1 to 2 months, several weeks, perhaps. The bodies that have been drained of blood, you're not quite sure what the heck is going on there. You've never seen something so terrifying, frankly. But it might remind you of, I don't know, I'm trying to think of some sort of animal that would suck the life out of this victim. Is there any sort of animal like that? Like some sort of spider or something?
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah, vampire. One of us might have seen a vampire victim at some point.
there are no vampires on the surface.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, not like a nature in the wild, really.
Yeah, I can't think of anything like. Yeah, but you've never seen anything like it. It's almost like it's preserved, like it's jerky or something. Like something really weird happened.
So, like with my roll of medicine 20, am I able to do like a short autopsy to figure out the cause of death?
It depends which body you're looking at, but some have been stabbed, some have been burnt to death.
So it's multiple.
Yeah, there's a
different
lot
types
of different ways that people died.
I'll take a closer look at the one that's been drained of blood.
Clearly, this person died some sort of violent death first, and then perhaps the blood draining and the dehydration happened later.
Is there any like marks on them that like maybe vampire bite? Even though I'm not my character doesn't know
Sure,
about vampires.
they'd be in folklore. Definitely around the neck. There's a gash, a dried out gash near the neck.
The doctor stand up and kind of put her tools away from her autopsy, and I'll just say, mumbling, "Well, my autopsy came up negative. I can't find the cause of death."
Well, I mean, I think the cause of death is obvious. To
Well, yeah, the
somebody's-
loss of breath.
like people have been like, you see crushed, rib cages and stab wounds and arrows sticking out of some of these bodies. Like the cause of death is clear.
yeah,
The
yeah,
cause of whatever dried these people out is not.
yeah. I worded that wrong. That's what I will. Like, I don't understand why the loss of the blood. I do see the bite marks, but I don't think Rhonda would relate that to blood loss, unless there's a big pile of blood around the body.
Mm-hmm. All right, so the three of you meet back up after doing some exploring around this area, and it's just so eerie. It's so quiet around here, and you're looking down onto the university. You see several buildings, and then all the way to the right, where the fields were in the Pleasant Ridge area, you see an athletic center. Like imagine a soccer pitch built out into the ocean. So you know what I mean? Like there's like a little bubble on the side of the whole structure that you're in, and there's a soccer pitch out there, and some stands and some stadiums and everything. Then there's just also some other fanciful buildings, some clock towers, things like that. It does still feel very collegiate in a weird way, but just the buildings are all messed up and crazy and spinning and spirally and organic. Do you head down to the university?
We do.
Yep.
In the main square of the university, as you're heading down from these homes, and you find some alleys, and you're slinking along them, you're being very careful, you're being very quiet. You see a statue of Abigail Russell in the middle of the main university buildings in a central square. This place is an absolute ghost town, but there is one building that has lights on. Do you just want to search the other buildings? Do you want to go to the building with lights on? Do you want to investigate the area with the sports field?
Yeah, it sounds too wide open. I think we would probably stick to close quarters if we can.
I say we search one more building and then we head towards the building with the lights.
I agree.
So try one more round of searching. See if I can scavenge anything, and then head towards the lit up building.
Are you guys searching together or separately again?
We'll do together. How many buildings are between us and that one? The light one.
We'll say you're in a square, so there are kind of 3 on your side, 3 on the other side, and then one building with lights on. So there are a total of 6, 7 buildings.
I'll take the left.
All right. Then
Let's
I'll
split
go.
up. I'll take the left.
I'll go to the other 3.
Okay.
I got a 5 on my first roll. Who are you going with, Robbie? Are you gonna stay outside?
Well, last time I didn't get shit if I went with one of you.
There you go. Musk got a 12.
I'm rolling terrible.
The house that I go to, are there doors on there? Are these things?
You're going to somewhere separately too?
Yeah, I feel like I have to go separate if I want to get my own shit, like my own gear.
I mean, we're sharing gear so far.
Mhm.
So, I mean,
You got one gold piece. You didn't share that gold piece with me.
well,
Chuck, what'd you get?
I rolled a 5. Or I'm sorry, investigation, it's a 4.
Okay. Chuck, you get nothing. Robbie, who are you with?
I'm gonna go to my own house, and if there's a door, I want to knock on it.
The door is just open.
Good
it's
God.
it's kind of,
Well, on the entryway,
It
I'll
looks-
tap on it.
it looks like the door was busted open at some point.
I'll tap on the doorway, and I'll say hello, hello, and I'll go in and investigate.
All right, give me a check.
Don't laugh at me. Do you guys really want would you walk into somebody's house?
This place looks like it's destroyed.
We
and
haven't
Everybody's
seen
been slaughtered.
anyone alive other than this crazy lady.
Yeah. Just go in
But you're
there.
knocking.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Robbie, what'd you get again?
The doctor is a little too scared. She really didn't go in too far. I rolled a 2.
You find nothing.
I got a 12.
Darn it.
You find some planks of wood that you could probably use as a shield if you wanted to.
I roll my eyes and bring them to the doctor. Since it was kind of her thing. She wants a shield so badly.
How did you know that I wanted it?
I saw you trying to use a shovel as a shield.
If
so.
I come out, I'll look at. So we've looked at 3 houses. There's 3 left. I'll go into another house and see if I can find anything. Do I roll again or just my?
You can roll again, but this time with disadvantage.
Okay.
Hot die ain't working for you, Chuck.
9.
You find a crowbar
Ooh, I'll take that.
and a lot of blood on and around the crowbar. Just a lot of really old dry blood.
Dry blood.
Mm-hmm.
I'll pick it up
Uh,
and I'll come out and I'll say,
I found a crowbar.
Musk will like grunt and nod. And I want to actually check out the big statue
Sure.
because it's in the middle of the square. Like I'm looking for like a plaque or something like that.
So you go to the statue of Russell, and whatever plaque was there has been ripped off,
Hmm.
and her face has been painted over in red. And there are kind of like hack marks and slash marks and burn marks, and clearly people are not happy about the statue and are not happy about Abigail, is what you get from looking at it.
It's a dwarf though.
Yes.
Okay,
Same
making
dwarf you
sure.
saw in the mechanical fish.
All right. Well, I motioned to the other 2 that it's time to check out the house with the lights, and I put my finger up to my mouth to show them that we're going to do this quietly.
You move to the large hall with the lights, and it's simply called Russell Hall on the front of the building. Some of the letters are starting to fall off, though. And it does look like a large university building in your mind. Like, you know, it has huge columns, has a grand facade. But again, all of it is the crazy spinning coral, and it almost looks like it's made out of, you know, shells. Looks like the whole building was grown from the ground up. And there is a front door that's ajar, and windows that are busted, and some light coming from the inside.
We can see through the windows.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's look
peek
through the
through the
window.
windows. Yeah, peek through the window first.
Looking through the windows, you see a social hall. This might be a place where students gather. Perhaps they eat their lunches. Perhaps they study here. There are also some vending machines. There are 3 large machines. There is a tall vertical oven with a mechanical dwarf wearing metal armor, and over it there is an arch also made of metal, and it says Frost Family Foundry. There is a stained glass tower with the words Abigail's Arcane Arts kind of made out of light, floating and slowly spinning around the stained glass tower. And you also see a tree with a face holding a wood sign that says Russell's Ranger Station. And these huge imagine they're almost, I mean, all of them are huge vending. These are not like normal vending machine size things. These are huge contraptions, about 1 to 2 stories tall. And there are 3 people hacking and beating at the one that says Abigail's Arcane Arts. And they're all wearing the same kind of white jumpsuits that you saw from the woman who had the dagger before. And they're beating and bashing away at it. And you hear them saying, I think there's some infusions here. Get out of the way. Let me get them. And they're pulling and prying at it with a crowbar. You do notice that one of the 3 people looks like they're wearing a full metal suit of armor, but that armor looks like it's made out of that smoke that you saw here and there, like on the glass surface.
Okay.
Some sort of magical armor that they're wearing. And they're trying to break their way into this large machine that has a little slot for tokens, a little slot for gold coins to put in there to purchase some things.
A whisper.
Let's get the jump on him.
Musk, again, just grunts. And then pulls out his crossbow and goes toward the door to try and shoot them a few times before they can get to us.
Why don't you just shoot from the window and when we make them come through the door and we'll ready actions when they go through the doorway?
Is the window broken? Like, can I do that? Or is it?
Totally.
Oh, then
There
yeah.
are some broken windows for sure. You can find one to
Okay.
push.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. I'm going to shoot, and then when they pop through the door, my compatriots will hit them, hopefully.
Yeah, already in action by the door with my short sword and my club. Because I'm a 2-weapon fighter.
So, you guys ready up? Rhonda, is that what you're doing? You're hanging out by the door? Waiting?
13 would be on one side. A doctor would be on the other side with her shield in her left arm and the small dagger in her right arm and resting the dagger on top of the shield.
You guys will get a surprise round, but let's roll for initiative.